Namaskar, a very good evening and a very warm welcome to A Room with a View. I know we are meeting after a long gap this time, but we are so delighted to be back. And also, equally, I'm delighted to see quite a few new participants this time. I'm sorry, I am managing both admission of participants and also talking to you. I might be a bit distracted for a few minutes. Anyway, I'll stop admitting for the time being. I'll start the session. Again, a very warm welcome to A Room with a View with this new topic that we much needed topic that we're looking at today, which is stress management strategies with an insight into emotional intelligence. So basically, unfortunately, stress is going up every day and it's continuing to go up every day. Uh, we all have stress alike. Maybe our situations are different, but then everybody is under some kind of stress, some kind of pressure. It's about the same in every house. The story is even worse now with this lockdown and so. Um, so then, what exactly are we doing about this? Our otherwise intelligent brain completely decides to shut every department of its when we are under stress. So what we would otherwise do intelligently when under stress, when we perceive something as threat or stress, we completely stop functioning. And then we only operate from the panic center, the fear center, or chaos, anxiety, and so on. So here is where the concept of emotional intelligence comes in, where if we are emotionally intelligent, we are able to handle stress situations, panic situations with more calm, peace, maturity, logic, reasoning, so on and so forth. So if we can inculcate this in our children very early, absolutely nothing like it. So if they can emotionally be intelligent and handle stress when it comes their way, because stress is something we obviously can't avoid. So that is something we are trying to look at. So in order to address this very, very important topic here today, we have two of our very favorite speakers again, who've been with us in the past weeks, Sivan sir and Sudhir sir. Yeah, so welcome, warm welcome to both our wonderful speakers. A lot of you who've been with us through the weeks that we've been hosting these talk shows, you know both of them very well. But I also see from this list that a lot of you are attending our session for the very first time. So I'll give you a quick introduction to the two wonderful speakers of us. Professor Sivan is a teacher par excellence. You can look him up on the internet and get a lot of information about him. He's a consultant by profession now, but then I know him as a teacher, a wonderful teacher, a mentor, someone that I can turn to at any hour for any kind of help, and he will be there. And this is not just me. If you can ask about 1,000 students across the world, across the globe, they'll tell you the same thing. A lot of the students, I'm sure, are here watching here just to listen to Sivan sir speak. So that's the kind of aura he has. A brilliant teacher. We all adore him. He's a microbiologist. So last time he did a wonderful session on corona, and yeah, that's his passion. And our second speaker is Sudhir sir, who's got over 25 years of experience in this domain. Life skills, soft skills has been his strength all along. He's trained thousands of corporate employees, students of universities, colleges, and schools who've taken training under him in various life skills. Stress management is one of the topics that's close to his heart because also stress management and yoga go hand in hand. And he's been practicing yoga for several years now, and it's a form of exercise that's very close to him. He understands the depth of it, and so he relates a lot of this stress management talk to how he can bring in yoga into your lives to help you handle stress better. So that's about the two speakers very quickly, and we have a wonderful combination of the two of them. With Mr. Sudhir Murray, he's the old Gurukul style who sort of helps us hold on to our roots, which is so important. And Sivan sir is the cool guru style, who is like the teacher of the generation. He says it to you like you want to hear it. And so I think it's a beautiful combination of the two of them that we have up here on this forum. And they will be handling stress management strategies today. The flow is going to be like this. So we will have Sivan sir start with a little bit of an insight on what is emotional intelligence, why is it gaining so much importance these days, and then Sudhir sir will take us through some of the therapeutic ways in which we can handle stress. So of course, this is a topic that's very vast, can't be covered in the 1.5 hours that we are looking at. But we are making a small effort. We are starting here. We're giving you a little gist of what this is all about. So then when we have a more detailed session, a proper workshop, you know what you're going to be learning in that workshop, right? So we will allow the speakers to take their half-an-hour slots to speak their topics. If in the middle of their talking, in the middle of the session, if any of you have any queries, please feel free to write the query in the chat box and I'll take note of them. Even otherwise, we have a good 30 minutes allocated for question answers, open interaction and discussions towards the end of the session. You can use that as well for asking questions, for discussing your experiences and so on. Yeah. So once again, a very warm welcome to everybody here. We'll get started with the session. I will request Siddhan sir to start off with his presentation.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you very much, Sudha, for this lovely introduction. Thank you very much. Thank you, Sudhi sir, for being with me because you make a perfect match to what I want to say to this generation. And to see all of you very familiar faces, thank you for coming with us. And I'm sure we would be able to add value as we grow into this relationship, which we want to build up of a community which is happy and would like to handle stress the best way possible. Uh, we have heard this word stress right through. I mean, each one of us have our own definition of stress. We have our own understanding of stress. It could stress for somebody could be as simple as that they are not able to, write an answer to a particular question, or it could be just that I have not been able to reach the airport on time. That could be a stress. Or to some of us, which could be as much as dealing with our bosses, dealing with our in-laws, dealing with our parents. Every set of thought process has its own complexity of stress. But ultimately, what we need to worry on is whether we really are being affected emotionally, affected in our physically, and is this going to relate to our daily living with our fellow beings? And that's where stress becomes very important. I would like to share my screen, if Sudha, you can allow me.
I'll do that. Sir,
Yeah.
your volume is a bit on the
Oh,
lower
okay.
side. I
Okay.
can't hear you very clearly.
Okay. Okay. Can you hear me now? I think probably I need to put the speaker in. Is this okay?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm giving you the
Yeah. If you can, please.
post
Yeah. Yeah.
rights. Soon after you are done with, you can give it
Sure.
back to
Sure.
me because you will have to admit participants as and
Oh,
when they
okay.
come.
Okay. Okay. So I'm just sharing a screen of mine. Give me some time. I'll see that. So what I want to come here as I thought that I'll just put a few differences where we look at what we call as major stressors and versus routine hassles. Yeah, we sometimes might confuse just routine hassles of, let's say, sending your child to school on time, or getting ready and going to office on time, or stuck in a traffic, which itself could be a huge stress for some of us. So some of these need to be classified as what we call as routine hassles, and may not be a major stressor, although we could probably be thinking it as a component of a daily life stress. So when we look at stress, what we look at is a cumulative nature. So each one of that which combines, which is a routine hassle every day, and what you're going through in terms of relationships could be a cumulative nature of stress. And what are we looking at? Are we looking at cognitive appraisals, which I mean that are you able to recognize?
So we
Are you
can't
able
see a slide in case you're projecting.
Oh, okay, okay. So, okay. It says screen is paused. Can you see now?
No. Yes, we can
Yeah.
see it now. Yeah.
Okay, okay.
You can just put this on slide mode.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
okay? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, just to give you through, so major stresses versus routine hassles, as I was talking about. So, the entire cumulative nature of whether it is routine hassles or what you go through as facing everyday relationship issues could be a common cumulative nature of your stress. And what we need to understand is, can we recognize and differentiate between what we call as routine hassles versus major stressors? Yep. So, what could be the major types of stress? I'm just taking you through a few ones. Frustration, which is blocked goals. You could have conflicts, which could be incompatible motivation. I'm looking at approaches, I'm looking at avoidance, I'm looking at avoidance combinations. Uh, I'm admitting Pooja Sharma, Sudha. And the next one is change. So, which means you're having to adapt. That itself could be a huge stress to a lot of us, which is social readjustment, a rating scale, which you're looking at, and life change units. I mean, these are phenomenal changes which could be huge stress issues for us. And of course, the last is pressure, where we look at performance and conformance. Yeah. These are some of your major issues which you need to confront as stress. We need to understand and define stress. Vinayak Vaidya, Sudha. Yeah. Sorry for this, but we
Yes.
need to do
Yes.
this. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. We have done that. So these are some of our major types of stress which we would always need to look at and see where we are fitting in to really look at how do we deal with these kind of stresses. Now, I'll go to the next slide where I'll talk about, now since we have looked at some of these stresses, I'll look at some of those where we have to look at. Is this visible?
No.
Okay. Now?
Yes.
Okay, thanks. So we'll put it this. Well, as I've been working on a lot of student development and counseling, I have some of these slides which will say so, but this should be applicable to all of that. So when we look at emotional intelligence, as Sudha was talking about, it's not about, I mean, some of us, the moment I put this slide, everybody used to tell that, this, I mean, we might not be intelligent enough, or we are the hardworking type. We immediately relate to an intelligence where we are looking at something which is related to performance, which could be school based, which could be your office based, or something where we are looking at as in terms of competitive world, which where we have always a rat competition. It's got nothing to do with that kind of intelligence. It's the capacity to be aware of, to control and express one's emotions, and to handle interpersonal relationships judiciously and empathetically. So, what we are looking at, can we have an appraisal which is constantly happening in your brain? without being judgmental and trying to tackle each one of those levels to differentiate whether it is routine or whether it is really a matter of stress is what which we need to look at. Let me tell you, let me be very frank. I might be here talking about stress and how about handling stress. I can tell you that whenever I take a flight, I am the most stressed. Any takeoff and any landing is one of the most stressful event for me, because one thought is that this is the plane which is going to crash because I am here. Yeah, I 100% every flight which I take, it's only Rama, 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 and take off, which my mother kept telling even as she was younger, and that is what I follow. And when we land, it is the same Rama who comes to save me every time I land the flight. Yeah. So I mean, this is a huge stress for me. And I have tried to work out various ways of handling this stress. Believe me, using what I call as my emotional intelligence. I have tried reading a book, and I thought that this would be one way because I love reading, and this would be one way to handle my stress of flying. I have been stuck on the same page till the plane balances itself in this height, and the moment it starts going up and down, I have again my page which is gone awry. Yeah. And I have seen this even across other people. It's not that, I mean, I have seen people getting very chattery. Yeah, they try to talk a lot. Some of them would try to keep seeing outside. Some of them keep watching the engines. So everybody has their own level and they are managing this is also one kind of stress management. They're trying to be not wary of that this flight is going to crash. Yeah. So what I want to tell here is, if each one of us are doing our own ways every day to handle stress, and it is thanks to our emotional intelligence. And it is so well put by Peter Stark. He says emotional intelligence is when you finally realize it's not all about you. It's so well put. It is not just that it's all about you, and you're going to be able to handle something which is about emotional intelligence. So taking this slide ahead, I just thought that this was something which was very, very well put. And I wanted to, I told Sudha that I want to discuss this. And we all call, there are different versions on these. We also call one of those are Johari windows. This is what we look at as emotional intelligence: the recognition as to who I am and the regulation as to what I do. So in recognition, where I'm looking at self-awareness, I'm looking at the ability to recognize and understand moods, emotions, and drives, as well as their effect on others. And when I'm looking at the same level, when I'm looking at social awareness, I'm looking at the ability to understand emotional makeup of other people, skill in treating people accordingly to their emotional reactions. So what is the regulation component then? The regulation component is what I do, the ability to control or redirect disruptive impulses and moods, the propensity to suspend judgment and to think before acting. It's all about giving yourself a second or two to think before you act. So, what are your social skills then in regulation? Proficiency in managing relationships and building networks, and ability to find common ground and build a rapport. This is how we look at what we call as a four window emotional intelligence concept. So if you look at all of this, and when we come down to the component that can we look at each of what we have to understand and opine before you really look at making a huge judgment about somebody else or about the environment in which you are? Can we balance and look at a little empathetically? Empathy is what is the key to to any kind of emotional intelligence. We might think that the other guy is reacting, he is being cruel to me, he is not understanding what I want him to do. And the other side, for him, he is also thinking in a similar manner about me, probably. He feels that I'm unmanageable, I'm rude, or I'm not good, or I'm not looking at the right way as he wants to. And this is where our entire component of stress builds up. I had such a lovely time learning even from Sudhir's talk on simple responses which you can look at as we looked at these entire sessions of how do we handle different kinds of relationship. It is all about human interaction with which we need to go. Can we be a little more humane? Can we be a little more empathetic? And can we be there to be there helping for others? I strongly feel that your entire component of stress and management is devised in this loci. And that is why I'm a strong believer of how Sudha said that Sudhir sir puts himself a lot of time in yoga. What each one of us have to understand at times is we want to do yoga only when we are in trouble. Yeah. I was told so many years back, please practice yoga, please practice yoga. In 2010, when I got tuberculosis and my functionality of my lungs came down to 40%, yeah, that is the time I had no other choice but to look at yoga. I don't want each one of you here to do that. Please believe me, my oxygen saturations now, when I do all these pranayams, yeah, is of course I don't need an oximeter. I think a lot of you might be using oximeters now to see to it that you're not COVID positive. But believe me, that's not a great idea to look at. But I'm sure that my oxygen capacity should not be anywhere less than 99 to 100%. I can take long inward breathing and outward exhaling at the same rates. And I would look forward to what what Sudhir sir would tell today on yoga. It is one of the best de-stressors to ever have or manage stress management. What can be the other stress ones which you can look at? I could give that in a part of the question and answer sessions. But please believe me, do what you love to do. Maybe you love to do gardening. Maybe you just love to take walks. Maybe you like to read. Maybe at times you like to watch sports. You might like to play sports. They are the best ways of meditation. I play Saturday, Sunday, I play 1.5 hours of competitive badminton. I'm the eldest guy in that group. And that 1.5 hours is I have nothing to focus on. It's only the shuttle. I'm only focused on shuttle. The best way to meditate. Can you have any better way, Sudhir sir, to meditate? When I'm looking on, I mean, we keep telling concentrate, focus, say, see Om or close your eyes, but your mind will be running everywhere. The moment I decide that I should focus on Om, at that point, I will have that my daughter needs to get married. My wife is going to strike me today, or my boss is going to shout. Every thought will come the moment I say focus myself and say Om. Yeah. And I have found the best way is when I read, when I play, I am in the best form of meditation. So find your ways to do what we call as meditation, where you will enjoy, balance, and love what you're doing. It's absolutely important and the best way to manage stress. Why I'm saying so? Let me come with I don't want to terrify any one of you here. There was this excellent survey done by Harvard Medical School just about 8 years back. What they did was they took 400 patients who were all suffering from cancer. 400 patients suffering from cancer, different kinds of cancer. It's not that they had only one type, it was all multiple organs involved. And they started asking a few questions to all of them to look at if can we find some commonality between all of them, because otherwise in diagnosis we are all over. In chemotherapy, in radiotherapy, in therapies, we are all over. We manage to help some, we don't manage to help others. Yeah. So, what could be the commonality in all of them? You will be surprised. The first one which they found was that all of them had lack of sleep, improper sleep. All 400 said that they used to have very unorganized way to sleep. Their sleeping hours were odd and they had trouble sleeping. Number one. Number two, all of them had acidity. All of them had acidity. It is again to do with your diet and eating discipline. Can we eat on time? Can we regulate our breakfast, lunch, snacking, and your dinner time? Can we have it as a disciplined way every day? All of them suffered from acidity. Third, all of them had chronic constipation. All of them had chronic constipation. Water intake. We are forgetting simple lifestyles. Each one of us, please listen. We are forgetting intake of water. 2.5 liters based on your weight of the body, 2 to 2.5 to 3 liters of water every day. Please measure and drink. Keep a Pepsi bottle which you can keep a 2-liter bottle and see if you can finish it off in a day. Constipation. Fourth point, stress. And what did they talk about? It was not that it was general routine hassles, it was traumatic stress. A lot of them had traumatic stress experiences. It was 96% who came up with traumatic stress experiences. So, again, we are coming back to the same, that what does stress then do? Probably hormonal changes. And we all know that one of the serious cause of cancer is severe hormonal imbalances. And that's why if you look at why is these two the biggest killers in women, we have in women uterus and breast cancer, both of which are highly hormonal tissue and organs which are subject to huge hormonal variations. Again, in men, we have the prostate cancer, which has probably one of the biggest ones to deal as we age. Yeah, it could be just that it could be benign, but it could be also malignant, and again an area where you have so much of hormonal changes. So stress is one of those commonalities which they found. So if you look at the first four, each of this is definitely manageable in a way where we start handling our emotional quotients. And where it comes from is all the kind of emotive thoughts and process which we have, and how do we handle them. It's so easy. I do agree. Anger. Yeah. For each one of us, we would have anger. Yeah. At some point of time, we would be angry at certain issues. I have mellowed down over the years. I do understand. I'm very frank when I discuss these points, because it's not that I'm in a saintly position and hear what I am trying to tell you something about it. But we need to work on these. We need to be actually honest enough to work on this. Can we change these modes? Can we change our attitude? Can we bring in discipline to some component in our life? Can we empathize on others? Can we look at why they are doing this? Why is a child throwing a tantrum? Yeah. Why is that child doesn't want to listen to you? there are so many of this which could be something which is routine or something which is on a hassle component. But all of these are definitely issues which we need to tackle and which we need to work on and which we need to do every day so that we can be a better human being to all. The idea here with all of us, and that's why I love when Sudha said that this is what she wants to, is that can we be small changes in each one of us with our own experiences where we can allow and learn our brain to have a better emotional intelligence so that we can handle stress in a better way. I'm sure I would be able to handle a few questions as it comes up in the question answer session. But let's look at now as to what Sudhir sir has to say, because I just loved some of his components of what he wanted to discuss to handle stress in a better way. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. So I know very well what's going to come soon after this session. My mother will pick up the phone and say, okay, all these years you didn't listen to me. Now that Sivan sir has said it, I hope you will sleep and eat on time. Thank you very much for that. I'm quite sure of that. So, sir, before I hand it over to Sudhir sir, if you can please make me the host again,
Yeah,
in
sorry.
case anybody wants to
Yes,
enter
yes.
the session, I'll give them access.
How do you go do that? Sorry.
So against my name, you will have to click on more and then say make host. Wherever you see my name in the participant list,
Yes.
just
Done
on
it.
the right.
I've done it.
Yes, perfect. Great.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So thank you very much, Sivan sir. We'll move on to Sudhir sir's therapeutic ways to manage stress, post which we will take questions from the audience. Sudhir sir, you'll have to unmute yourself.
अयो पापा, I was just giving examples. जो घर में सबका होता रहेगा ना. Husbands will.
Sudhir sir, please unmute yourself. Yeah, everybody else can please put yourselves on mute. I request all of the audience members to be on mute till we finish the session. Yeah. Yeah.
मेरा अनम्यूट हो गया ना? Namaste and welcome you all. I'm happy to see the new faces as well as old faces. So should I start? Okay. So first thing first, you cannot manage stress. You cannot manage stress. You have to manage yourself in relation to stress. Yeah, that is period. Okay. Now, there are 4 things which are unavoidable. First is death. You cannot avoid that. Second is taxes. You cannot avoid. You can do only jugglery with taxes, but you cannot avoid taxes. Even if your dead body goes to the that funeral house, there you have to pay taxes. Then only body will be allowed. Third is change, and change is like a road roller. How many you can pronounce road roller 3-4 times in a sequence? Very difficult. So change it like that, and it's like a road roller, and you have to run ahead of that, otherwise it will crush you. Usko koi daya maya nahi hai. Most of my session will be in Hindi. And fourth is stress. You have to manage stress, otherwise usko bhi daya maya nahi hai, aapko ragad ke chala jayega. So stress is at 3 levels. हमारा जो पर्सनैलिटी है वो 3 पैरों का स्टूल है. एक स्टूल है जिसको 3 पैर है. एक है शरीर, दैट इज योर फिजिकल सेंटर. दूसरा है मन, योर इमोशनल सेंटर. और तीसरा है बुद्धि, इंटेलेक्चुअल सेंटर. इसमें अगर कोई भी सेंटर है वो आउट ऑफ बैलेंस गया है तो तुम्हारे में स्ट्रेस है. शरीर, फिजिकल सेंटर आउट ऑफ बैलेंस है तो उसको बोलते बीमार, सिक. इमोशनल सेंटर आउट ऑफ बैलेंस है तो उसको बोलते दीवाना, है ना. इमोशनल आउट ऑफ बैलेंस है. कॉलेज के दिनों में याद करो, अली का आ गई क्या, उसकी राह देखते हैं. वो फिर क्लास अटेंड करने का ध्यान नहीं रहता, उसने क्या ड्रेस पहना है, कौन से बस से आती है, रिक्शा से आती है, स्कूटर से आती है, कैसे आती है, किधर रहती है, उसका भाई कैसा है, पहलवान है कि दुबला पतला है, उसके घर के क्लॉकवाइज चक्कर, एंटी क्लॉकवाइज चक्कर, दीवाना। उस दिनों में कुछ ख्याल नहीं रहता, खाने का नहीं, क्लासेस अटेंड करना, कहीं नोट लेने का नहीं, उसको कहते दीवाना। और ये दीवानापन किसी भी उम्र में आ सकता है और किसी भी चीज पे आ सकता है। ये एग्जाम्पल इसलिए दिया कि दिमाग में ज्यादा जल्दी घुसता है। और बुद्धि आउट ऑफ बैलेंस है तो उसको कहते हैं पागल। तो कोई भी आदमी जो बीमार है, दीवाना है, पागल है, वो कोई भी सृजन नहीं कर सकता। ही कैन नॉट कंस्ट्रक्टिव की चीज नहीं कर सकता, वो डिस्ट्रक्टिव चीज कर सकता है। तो इसलिए तीनों सेंटर इन रिजर्वल स्टेट ऑफ बैलेंस चाहिए। मतलब शरीर चाहिए तो अर्नोल्ड के जैसा नहीं चाहिए, और मन चाहिए वो एकदम चाणक्य के जैसा मन नहीं चाहिए, और बुद्धि भी कोई एकदम तुम्हारी आइंस्टीन के जैसी बुद्धि नहीं चाहिए। दे शुड बी इन अ रिजनेबल स्टेट ऑफ बैलेंस। तो इसको रिजनेबल स्टेट ऑफ बैलेंस में रखने के लिए अभी सिवन सर ने तो मन के बारे में बात बताया, तो मन सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट है, क्योंकि मन ये दोनों चीजों को बराबर चलाता है। मन के बारे में ऐसे कहते हैं कि एवरीथिंग इज क्रिएटेड ट्वाइस। दुनिया में हर चीज 2 बार बनती है। आप जिस टेबल पे बैठे हो ये 2 बार बना है। पहले किसी सुतार के मन में पहले वो एज एन आइडिया बना है और फिर वो रियलिटी में बना है। जिस मशीन के सामने बैठे हो वो किसी टेक्नीशियन के मन में वो मशीन पहले और बनी है, फिर दूसरी बार रियलिटी में बनी है। आपका किसी से झगड़ा हो गया तो आपके मन में गाली आती है, वो गाली पहले मन में बनती है फिर रियलिटी में बनती है। सामने वाला दुबला पतला बना रहा तो अलग गाली आती है, और सामने वाला पहलवान रहा तो आपके मन में गाली आती है, ए भाई, ए बड़े भाई, ए दादा, ए भैया। और वही सामने वाला दुबला पतला रहा तो आपके मन में गाली आती है जो कि प फ ब भ म से शुरू होती है ना। याद आई ना गालियां। तो हर चीज मन में पहली बार बनती है और फिर रियलिटी में बनती है। इससे मन का रोल बहुत बढ़िया है। इसके लिए आपको एक प्रैक्टिकल एग्जांपल देता हूँ, और फिर मैं एक एक सेंटर कैसे संभालना है इसके लिए आपको एक पंचकोश शुद्धि बताता हूँ। ये पंचकोश क्या है, ये पहले आपको मन का इंपॉर्टेंस बताऊं। एक इमेजिन करो कि आपके लिए
sir, 1 minute. Is everybody able to hear? Is he audible? Is the audio okay? Can some of you give me a thumbs up? Okay, okay, great. Okay.
Yes, his audio is good.
Yeah,
ठीक है,
okay.
ऑडियो ठीक है ना?
Yes, yes.
तो जैसे इमेजिन करो कि जेंट्स के लिए मैं एक भरपूर पीला नींबू लाया हूँ रसदार, और लेडीज के लिए एक इमली लाया हूँ, आधी पक्की आधी कच्ची। और ये आप सब लोग आंखें बंद कर लीजिए, और ये नींबू मैंने काटा है चाकू से, और उसका रस आपकी जबान पे डाल रहा हूँ जेंट्स के लिए, और इमली कच्ची पक्की नींबू आपके जबान पे रखा हूँ लेडीज के लिए, और साथ में थोड़ा थोड़ा नमक आपके जबान पे रखा हूँ, और आप वो चख रहे हैं। नींबू एक ड्रॉप बाय ड्रॉप जेंट्स की जबान पे, और इमली लेडीज के जबान पे, आधी कच्ची आधी पक्की, और साथ में हल्का सा नमक। अभी आंख खोल दो, क्या हुआ बताइए, क्या हुआ? कोई तो बताओ क्या हुआ? सुधा, तुमको क्या हुआ?
आ गया।
हाँ,
ऐसे आंख मारा, विंक हुआ।
अच्छा,
पानी आ गया।
मुंह में पानी आ गया ना। अब सबको मालूम है, शरीर को मालूम है, बुद्धि को मालूम है, ना तो नींबू है, ना तो चाकू है, ना तो नमक है, ना तो इमली है। फिर भी मन ने मान लिया, मन ने बुद्धि का और शरीर को सिग्नल दिया कि नींबू है, इमली है। सलाइवरी ग्लैंड को सिग्नल दिया कि रिलीज सलाइवा, और सलाइवा आना शुरू हो गया। ये मन है, मन ने एक चीज स्वीकार कर ली है तो बुद्धि और शरीर उसको रिस्पॉन्ड करता है। ये सिर्फ मन का इंपॉर्टेंट है। वंस द मन टेक्स एनी सजेशन, देन शरीर और बुद्धि इस हिसाब से काम करती है। इसलिए मन बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, ये सिर्फ बताने के लिए मैंने बताया। अब शरीर, मन और बुद्धि, ये तीनों का बैलेंस रहना चाहिए, और इसमें मन का ये बहुत है। और ये मन संभालने के लिए इमोशनल इंटेलिजेंस बहुत जरूरी है। अब मैं आपको जो बताऊंगा, पहले मैं शरीर के लिए पंचकोश शुद्धि बताऊंगा। मैं, हमारे 5 कोश है। 5 कोश मतलब 5 सिस्टम्स है या 5 मशीन्स है। तो ये इसकी शुद्धि कैसे करना है, ये सारे शरीर, मन और बुद्धि पे करते हैं। तो पहली शुद्धि है, पहली पंचकोश शुद्धि में पहली शुद्धि है शरीर शुद्धि। या अन्नमय कोश। अन्नमय कोश आपके मुंह से शुरू होता है और आपके एनस में खत्म होता है। तो अन्नमय कोश की शुद्धि क्या है? जो हम अन्न ग्रहण करते हैं और जो अन्न हजम होके रिलीज होता है, तो उसकी शुद्धि करना है। जहां अन्न जो प्रोसेसिंग मशीन है उसकी शुद्धि कैसे करना है, तो उसके लिए पहला है शरीर शुद्धि। हम अन्न खाते हैं तो उसके लिए पहले नहा धो के हम बैठते हैं, जिसको हम स्नान संध्या बोलते हैं। तो ये बेसिक प्रोसेस है कि हमने शरीर, मुंह, हाथ पैर धो के ही अन्न खाने बैठना है। फिर स्वच्छता, ये पहला है हाइजीन, तो अभी जोर शोर से चल रहा है हाइजीन खाना खाते वक्त। फिर दूसरा है विचार शुद्धि। इसलिए हम पहले क्या करते थे, संध्या करते थे, कोई प्रार्थना बोलते थे, कोई मंत्र बोलते थे। यह है शरीर शुद्धि। और विचार शुद्धि इसलिए कि खाना खाते वक्त अच्छे विचार से बैठना है। किसी से झगड़ा करके, घर वालों से झगड़ा करते या बाहर झगड़ा करके आने के बाद उस कंटेमिनेटेड विचार से भोजन करोगे तो भोजन आपको ठीक से हजम नहीं होगा, इसे विचार शुद्धि है। फिर स्थान शुद्धि, तो हम पहले खाना खाते हुए क्या करते थे कि वो जगह को ठीक से लीपते थे, मिट्टी से लीपते थे या गोबर से लीपते थे। मतलब अपने खाना खाने की जगह साफ सुथरी होना चाहिए। गंदी जगह कभी नहीं खाना, जैसे हाथ गाड़ी पे खाते हैं, जहाँ मक्खियां है, जहाँ गंदगी है, जहाँ बदबू आती है, जहाँ जिस होटल में किचन साफ नहीं है, वहां कभी भी खाना नहीं खाना चाहिए। तो इसलिए हम घर में क्या करते थे, वहाँ पत्तल अच्छी तरह से रखते थे, वो जगह को साफ सुथरा रखते थे, वहां रंगोली निकालते थे, वहां अगरबत्ती लगाते थे, वहां धूप घुमाते थे। वैसा वो स्थान शुद्धि रहना चाहिए। फिर जो वस्तु है, जिस वस्तु से खाना बनता है उसकी शुद्धि, जहाँ हमारे दिल्ली में असली घी का खाना मिलता है मगर उसमें सारा डालडा बना रहता है, उसमें घी में मिलावट है, तेल में मिलावट है, बेसन में मिलावट है, हर चीज में मिलावट है, मिठाई में मिलावट है, खोए में मिलावट है। वो मिलावट वाला ये नहीं चाहिए। तो वस्तु की शुद्धि भी चाहिए, जो बर्तन है वो भी ठीक से साफ सुथरे होना चाहिए, ये वस्तु की मिलावट भी चाहिए। फिर सबसे है जो काल शुद्धि। काल शुद्धि मतलब जो जैसे कि सिमन सर ने बताया, काल शुद्धि मतलब हमारा ब्रेकफास्ट का भी एक तय टाइम होना चाहिए। कभी भी खा रहे हैं, कभी हम रात को 2 बजे खाते हैं, रात को 3 बजे खा रहे हैं, कभी 12 बजे खा रहे हैं, कभी सवेरे 4 बजे खा रहे हैं। नहीं, काल की भी शुद्धि होना चाहिए। हर चीज के लिए एक फिक्स टाइम चाहिए। ब्रेकफास्ट का टाइम, लंच का टाइम, डिनर का टाइम, ये काल की शुद्धि चाहिए। जब हमारा अग्नि प्रदीप्त होता है उस वक्त ही खाना जाना चाहिए, और हमारे सिस्टम को जो आदत लगी है उसी टाइम के खाना चाहिए। और इसमें सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट है द्रव्य शुद्धि। आप किस पैसे से खाना कर रहे हैं, वो पैसा आपका गलत तरीके से आपका पैसा खा रहा है और गलत तरीके से पैसे से खाना कर रहे हैं तो खाना आपके शरीर को हानिकारक रहेगा। यह है अन्नमय कोश की शुद्धि। दूसरा है प्राणमय कोश। प्राणमय कोश मतलब जो प्राण है, आप खाने के बगैर आदमी 20 दिन 21 दिन, महावीर तो 6 महीने खाना नहीं खाते थे।
नहीं, ये देखो, ये एक सेकंड, ये देखो, ये ऑप्शन होता है लीव।
दूसरा है प्राणमय कोश। प्राणमय कोश मतलब जो सांस, प्राणमय कोश के बगैर आप 5 मिनट भी जिंदा नहीं रह सकते। आपका प्राण है, जो सांस है, उसके लिए ये नाक से शुरू होता है और आप नाभि चक्र तक ये चलता है। यह है प्राणमय कोश। ये प्राणमय कोश मतलब आप जो सांस लेते हैं, आप छोटे बच्चे को देखा है, जो बच्चा जन्म लेता है तो जब सांस लेता है तो वो नाभि चक्र से सांस लेता है, उसका पेट नीचे ऊपर जाता है। मगर हम फास्ट लाइफ में हम क्या, हम सब सांस सुपरफिशियल लेते हैं। हमारा छाती फूलती है और छाती से ही सांस लेते हैं, और उसमें क्या है कि हमारे लंग्स की जो कोशिका है आखिर तक सांस जाता नहीं है, और इसलिए हमारे लोअर लंग में हरदम कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड भरा का भरा रहता है। इसलिए हमने डीप ब्रीदिंग करना चाहिए, और वो डीप ब्रीदिंग हमारा नाभि चक्र तक जाना चाहिए। इसलिए दिन में कुछ हद तक हमने डेलिबरेट टाइम निकाल के सांस हमने नीचे तक लेनी चाहिए, जो नाभि चक्र तक हमारी सांस जाना चाहिए। और ये डेलिबरेटली लेने के लिए हमने दिन में कुछ प्राणायाम करना चाहिए, जैसे ओंकार का ध्यान करना चाहिए नाभि चक्र तक। टाइम मिला तो मैं नाभि चक्र से ओंकार कैसे करना ये भी आपको सिखाऊंगा। और कम से कम अनुलोम विलोम, कपालभाति, ओंकार और नाभि चक्र से प्राणायाम, ये सारे प्राणमय कोश के लिए इतने आपने ये करना ही चाहिए। और नाभि चक्र से सांस करनी चाहिए। छोटे बच्चों को देखो तो आपको पता चल जाएगा, और ये बहुत आसान है। और रामदेव बाबा तो ये जो 5 या 7 प्राणायाम सिखाते हैं उसमें के पहले 3-4 आप प्राणायाम करोगे तो आपका प्राणमय कोश भी अच्छा रहेगा। फिर है ध्यानमय या विज्ञानमय कोश। आप कुछ कोई डिग्री लेके या कोई डिप्लोमा लेके या कोई ज्ञान लेके आप किसी नौकरी करते हो, पर आपका जो नौकरी करते हो, जो स्किल है, जो नॉलेज आपने लिया है, वो शायद अभी आउटडेटेड हुआ है। आपको आपके नौकरी में प्रोग्रेस करना है तो आपका नॉलेज अपडेट करना पड़ेगा, और सिर्फ नॉलेज लेके फायदा नहीं, उसको स्किल में कन्वर्ट करना पड़ेगा। इसलिए आपका नॉलेज, आपका स्किल आपको हरदम अपडेट करते रहना पड़ेगा। उसको बोलते हैं ज्ञान या विज्ञान में कोश। और ये अपडेट करने के लिए जिस फील्ड में आप है उसको आप अपडेट नहीं करोगे तो अगले इंटरव्यू में आपको पूछा जाएगा कि आपका नॉलेज है वो पुराना ही है, पुराना ढर रहा है, जो आपने ग्रेजुएट लेवल पे, पोस्ट ग्रेजुएट पे लिया तो उसने आप में अपडेट किया है। और सिर्फ नॉलेज अपडेट करके कुछ फायदा नहीं। नॉलेज तो है, मगर नॉलेज को जब तक आप स्किल में नहीं बदलते, आप डॉक्टर है, आपको नॉलेज सारी किताबें याद है, पर जब तक वो स्किल में नहीं बदलते हैं, आप स्कल्पटर है मगर वो जब तक उसको स्किल में नहीं बदलते हैं, आप एक मिस्त्री है मगर जब तक आप वो नॉलेज को स्किल में नहीं बदलते, वो नॉलेज का कुछ फायदा नहीं। पीपल आर नॉट इंटरेस्टेड इन योर नॉलेज। वो नॉलेज का आपने कितने स्किल में कन्वर्ट किया है, उससे आपकी एबिलिटी आकी जाती है। इसलिए ज्ञान में और विज्ञान में कोर्स में आपको प्रोग्रेस करनी है। और इतना ही नहीं, आपके बच्चे जो जिस फील्ड में पढ़ाई करते हैं उनका नॉलेज 50x है और आपका नॉलेज सिर्फ 5x है, तो उनके बच्चों के साथ कोप अप करना है, उनके प्रोग्रेस के साथ को चलना है, तो आपका भी नॉलेज आपको 5x से 50x से साथ उतना तो नहीं बढ़ सकता। आपके बच्चे तो बहुत होशियार है, मगर बच्चों के साथ कोप अप करने के लिए आपका नॉलेज बच्चों के स्किल में भी थोड़ा सा आपको बढ़ना चाहिए, सो दैट यू आर कोपिंग अप विद देयर नॉलेज और उनको शेयरिंग कर सको, सो दैट यू आर मैचिंग विद द प्रोग्रेस ऑफ योर चिल्ड्रन। फिर उसके बाद चौथा है आनंदमय कोश। आनंदमय कोश मतलब आपको जिंदगी में आनंद लेना चाहिए, नहीं तो क्या घर ऑफिस में करोगे तो तुम्हारी जिंदगी का आनंद खत्म होना चाहिए, खत्म होगा। और आनंदमय कोश आपका जिंदा है कि नहीं, इसलिए आपको छोटा सा एक्सरसाइज देता हूँ। आप 20 चीजें आप लिखो जिससे आपको जिंदगी में बहुत आनंद मिलता है, और ऐसी सोशली मेंशनेबल छोटी छोटी चीज लिखो। जैसे फॉर एग्जाम्पल, आई एंजॉय वॉचिंग द सनसेट, आई एंजॉय प्लेइंग विद द चिल्ड्रन, आई एंजॉय सी बीच पे चलना, नदी किनारे चलना, फॉरेस्ट में जाना, बगीचे में फूल देखना, बर्ड वॉचिंग करना। ये छोटी छोटी चीजें, ऐसी 20 चीजें लिखो और उसके सामने लिखो किसमें टाइम की जरूरत है, किसमें पैसे की जरूरत है, और किसमें अदर पीपल की जरूरत है। ये 20 चीजें समझो आप लिख नहीं पाते तो आप ये समझ लेना कि आपने जिंदगी का आनंद लेना ही भूल गए। मेनी पीपल विल फाइंड टू राइट 20 थिंग्स इन अ सीक्वेंस, समझो। और ये पैसिव चीजें मत लिखना, मेरे को टीवी देखने में आनंद आता है, पेपर पढ़ने में आनंद आता है, या मैच देखने में आनंद आता है, फुटबॉल देखने में आनंद आता है, नहीं, ये पैसिव चीज नहीं, जिसमें आपका एक्टिव इन्वॉल्वमेंट है, ऐसी 20 चीजें लिखो। और मैंने बहुत सारे ऐसे लोग देखा है कि जिनको 20 चीजें लिखना भी पॉसिबल नहीं होता, वो 5 चीजें लिख के ही रुक जाते हैं। तो डेफिनेटली ये समझ लेना कि ये लोगों को जिंदगी में आनंद कैसे लेना है यही समझ में नहीं आता। फिर आप 20 चीजें लिखो तो उसमें आप पाओगे कि उसमें टाइम, मनी एंड अदर पीपल, इसका आप टिक मार्क करोगे तो आपको बहुत सारे इसमें लगते हैं कि इसमें पैसा बहुत कम लगता है, ऑलमोस्ट बहुत सारी चीजों में पैसा भी नहीं लगता, अदर पीपल भी नहीं लगते हैं, और सिर्फ टाइम लगता है, और सफिशिएंट टाइम आपके पास है। और इसके बावजूद भी कई चीजें आप देखोगे कि ये महीने में उसमें की एक भी नई चीजें की है। मतलब क्या है कि आप आपकी जिंदगी का आनंद खो रहे हैं, तो स्टार्ट डूइंग दैट, सो दैट आपका जिंदगी का आनंदमय कोश जिंदा रहे। और जिनके जिंदगी में ये 20 चीजें नहीं है, वो खुद तो आनंद में नहीं रहते, दूसरे लोगों को भी आनंद देना वो पसंद नहीं करते। दूसरा कोई आनंद लेता है तो ये लोग चिढ़ जाते हैं। और सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट है मनोमय कोश। और मनोमय कोश, मन की पावर बढ़ाना है। अब लोगों को जब मैं पूछता हूँ कि मन की पावर कैसे बढ़ाना है, तो लोग क्या बोलते हैं, पॉजिटिव थिंकिंग करो। और जब मैं उनको पूछता हूँ कि पॉजिटिव थिंकिंग कैसे करना है, तो ये लोग बोलते हैं पॉजिटिव थिंकिंग करो, कैसे करना है इसका आंसर उनके पास नहीं है। पॉजिटिव थिंकिंग कैसे करना है बहुत सारे लोगों को मालूम नहीं, वो सिर्फ बोलते पॉजिटिव थिंकिंग करो, मगर कैसे करना है इसके ऊपर सोचो। कि आपका बच्चा, आपकी बच्ची, आपका छोटा भाई आपको बोल रहा है कि पॉजिटिव थिंकिंग कैसे करो, तो उसका जवाब आपके पास है क्या? तो मन में कोश, हाउ टू इंक्रीज पावर ऑफ द माइंड, इसके ऊपर आप सोचो। और उसके ऊपर आपके पास कम से कम 50 आंसर है। और जब आपको मैं पूछता हूँ तो आप इसमें स्टक हो जाते हैं, बहुत सारे लोग स्टक हो जाएंगे। इसके लिए मैं कुछ आपको छोटे छोटे आंसर देता हूँ जो आपको मालूम है कई बार आपने किए हैं, मगर जब मैं पूछता हूँ ये आंसर में आप स्टक हो जाते हैं। तो कुछ आंसर मैं, आप 5 मिनट सोचो, मगर उसके साथ में थोड़ी सी एक चीज आपको सर ने बताया था, एम्पैथी। तो एम्पैथी क्या है उसके बारे में थोड़ा सा बताता हूँ, और बाद में मनोमय कोश को स्ट्रेंथन करने के लिए क्या करना चाहिए इसके 7-8 आंसर मैं दूंगा। बाकी 40 आंसर आपने खुद ने ढूंढ के निकालना है। और अभी मैं एम्पैथी के ऊपर कुछ आपको बताता हूँ, आपकी एम्पैथी कैसे टेस्ट करना है। और इस स्टोरी के बाद आपको खुद में पता चल जाएगा कि आप में एम्पैथी है कि नहीं है और कितनी मात्रा में। क्योंकि एम्पैथी मेरे हिसाब से वो डिफाइन नहीं की जाती, इट कैन बी ओनली बी फेल्ट, इट कैन ओनली बी फेल्ट, इट कैन नॉट बी डिफाइंड। उसके लिए मैं एक छोटी सी कहानी आपको बताता हूँ और फिर आप में समझ में आएगा कि आप में एम्पैथी है कि नहीं है। सुधा, मेरी आवाज ठीक से आ रही है? हेलो सुधा?
यस यस, बिल्कुल आ रही है अच्छे से।
ठीक है, ठीक है, हाँ, अच्छा। तो एम्पैथी की स्टोरी सुनाता हूँ, बाद में मैं मनोमय कोश को स्ट्रेंथन करने के लिए क्या क्या है आएगा, और किसी का आंसर आता है तो उनको इसमें चैट बॉक्स में लिखने को बोलो। हाँ? तो बोलूं मैं स्टोरी अभी एम्पैथी के लिए। तो एक पहाड़ों में के स्कूल की कहानी है। पहाड़ में डेंसिटी ऑफ पॉपुलेशन कम होने के कारण स्कूल बहुत दूर दूर रहते हैं, और क्योंकि डेंसिटी ऑफ पॉपुलेशन कम होने से बच्चे दूर दराज से आते हैं। उनको कभी नदी नाले पार करके पहाड़ों में से चल के आना पड़ता है, 4-4, 5-5, 6-6 किलोमीटर चल के आना पड़ता है। और वहां बच्चे ऐसे आते हैं, गरीब बच्चे हैं, उनके पास देने के लिए फीस भी नहीं है, स्कूल में आने के लिए कभी चप्पल नहीं, कुछ नहीं कुछ नहीं, 4-4, 6-6, 7-7 किलोमीटर आते हैं। कभी धूप में आते हैं, कभी बारिश में आते हैं, तो बारिश में उनको कहीं नदी नाले पार करके आना पड़ता है। धूप में पैर में चप्पल नहीं रहती तो ये झाड़ की छाव में से दूसरे झाड़ की छाव में, दूसरे झाड़ की छाव में से तीसरे झाड़ की छाव में बगैर चप्पल के आते हैं। धूप में दौड़ के आते हैं, बारिश में ये करके आते हैं, ठंड में उनके पास कपड़े भी नहीं रहते, मगर वो बड़ी मुश्किल से आते हैं। स्कूल में इसलिए आते हैं कि उनके दिमाग में एक आइडिया पक्की रहती है कि मैं स्कूल में जाऊंगा तो कुछ मेरी जिंदगी में बदलाव आएगा, कुछ तो मैं कर पाऊंगा, नहीं तो हमारी सारी जिंदगी पहाड़ों में भेड़ बकरियां चराने में पूरी जिंदगी बीत जाएगी और मैं जिंदगी में आगे नहीं पढ़ पाऊंगा। तो वो सारे कष्ट उठा के, विंटर में ठंड झेल के, समर में धूप झेल के, बारिश में गीले होके, नदी पार करके, सर के ऊपर किताबें बांध के कैसे तो भी स्कूल में आते। तो ऐसी एक दिन बच्चों की असेंबली हुई, और असेंबली में टीचर ने, बच्चों की असेंबली होने के बाद टीचर ने बच्चों को एक सवाल पूछा कि बच्चों, क्या तुमने ब्रेकफास्ट किया है? तो बच्चे जनरली शर्मीले होते, तो किसी ने, बहुत सारे बच्चों ने जवाब नहीं दिया। तो फिर टीचर ने उनको ये पूछा कि जितने बच्चों ने ब्रेकफास्ट किया वो हाथ ऊपर उठाइए, क्योंकि मुंह से जवाब देते नहीं। तो बहुत सारे बच्चों ने हाथ ऊपर उठाया, तो कुछ बच्चों ने हाथ ऊपर नहीं उठाया। तो जितने बच्चों ने हाथ ऊपर नहीं उठाया तो उनको जो टीचर ने 1 बाय 1 पूछना शुरू किया, आपने ब्रेकफास्ट क्यों नहीं किया? तो किसी बच्चों ने बोला कि अब मेरा पेट खराब था, मैं इसलिए मैंने ब्रेकफास्ट नहीं किया। फिर कुछ बच्चों को पूछा तो कुछ बच्चों ने बताया कि मैं लेट हो रहा था इसलिए मैंने ब्रेकफास्ट नहीं किया। फिर कुछ बच्चों ने बताया कि मेरे पसंद का ब्रेकफास्ट नहीं था इसलिए मैंने नहीं किया। और एक बच्चा ऐसा था कि इसने इसमें से किसी चीज का उसने जवाब नहीं दिया। फिर उस बच्चों को वो गर्दन नीचे डाल के, मुंडी नीचे डाल के चुपचाप बैठा रहा था। फिर उसको बच्चे को कुरेद कुरेद के टीचर ने पूछा, तुमने ब्रेकफास्ट क्यों नहीं किया? वो जवाब ही नहीं रहता था। फिर टीचर ने उसको बहुत जोर से पूछा, तो उसने मुंडी ऊपर किया तो उसके आंखों में आंसू थे। फिर टीचर ने फिर पूछा, बेटा तुमने ब्रेकफास्ट क्यों नहीं किया? तो वो बोल पड़ा कि मैडम, आज मेरा नंबर नहीं था। हम बोले 5 भाई बहने हैं और हफ्ते में एक ही दिन एक को ब्रेकफास्ट मिलता है, आज मेरा नंबर नहीं था। ये सुनने के बाद आपके गले में कुछ होता है, आपके दिमाग में कुछ होता है, आपके आंखों में आंसू होता है, तो आप में एम्पैथी है। और आपके गले में कुछ नहीं होता है, आपके आंख में कुछ नहीं होता है, आपके दिल में कुछ नहीं होता है, तो आप में एम्पैथी नहीं है। और आप में एम्पैथी नहीं है तो आप दूसरे का दुख दर्द नहीं समझते। और आप में एम्पैथी है तो बाकी कोई भी भावना नहीं है तो एक एम्पैथी के साथ आप दूसरे का सब कुछ समझ सकते हैं। क्लियर? और ये है हाइट ऑफ इमोशनल इंटेलिजेंस। एम्पैथी है तो यह इमोशनल इंटेलिजेंस, और एम्पैथी नहीं है तो तुम कितना भी इमोशनल इंटेलिजेंस सीखो, मराठी में हम उसको बोलते हैं दगड्या, पत्थर दिल हो आप, और इमोशनल इंटेलिजेंस है तो बाकी सब कुछ है। नो नीड टू गेट एनी लेसन ऑन इमोशनल इंटेलिजेंस। क्लियर? और अभी मन की स्ट्रेंथ समझने के लिए बहुत सारी चीजें, एक है ओंकार, एक है मंत्र, एक है व्यायाम, एक है कला, एक है सेवा, और सबसे नंबर 1 है एम्पैथी। सेवा करो दूसरे की, आर्ट ऑफ गिविंग। हम गिविंग में क्या करते हैं, हम 2 कंसेप्ट यूज करते हैं, एक है गिविंग, एक है डिस्कार्डिंग। ये घड़ी है मेरे पास, इसको मेरे को कुछ चाहिए नहीं तो मैं दूसरे को देता हूँ, दैट इज डिस्कार्डिंग कंसेप्ट। और ये घड़ी मेरे को बहुत अच्छी लगती है, व्हेन आई एम गिविंग टू सुधा, दैट इज गिविंग कंसेप्ट। ये गिविंग कंसेप्ट तुम्हारे पास है तो दैट इज दी मनोमय कोश तुम्हारा रिच है। तो ये बहुत सारी चीज है, गिविंग एंड डिस्कार्डिंग कंसेप्ट, ये समझो। गिविंग समथिंग, एंड वो भी है गिविंग समथिंग टू समवन which cannot be returned in cash or kind. इसीलिए एवरीथिंग इज क्रिएटेड ट्वाइस, ये ध्यान में रखो। फर्स्ट इट इज क्रिएटेड इन योर माइंड, तो तुम्हारे माइंड में क्या बनता है, इसलिए माइंड में क्या बनता है समझो और माइंड को स्ट्रेंथनिंग करो। और एम्पैथी है तो माइंड में हरदम अच्छी चीज ही बनेगी। और इसके लिए मंत्र है, जप है, व्यायाम है, योगा है, प्राणायाम है, और ये पंचकोश शुद्धि, अन्नमय कोश, प्राणमय कोश, मनोमय कोश, विज्ञानमय कोश और आनंदमय कोश। और सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट क्या है, मनोमय कोश। और मनोमय कोश में भी सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट क्या है, एम्पैथी। और दूसरा क्या है, गिविंग कंसेप्ट वर्सेस डिस्कार्डिंग कंसेप्ट। और तीसरा क्या है, आर्ट ऑफ सेवा, गिविंग। सेवा का मतलब क्या है, somebody should say वाह, क्या बात है, क्या इसने दिया है मुझे। somebody should wow about what you are giving. Thank you. Now questions and answers. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. That was really very insightful, very interesting, very beautifully explained. So these are also some of the comments that I'm reading. Very, very beautifully explained. Thank you so much. Well, we are now open for even experience sharing, not just question answers. So please go ahead. You all are free to unmute yourselves, talk to us. If there are any specific questions for the speakers, please go ahead, ask. So we are all open now. And if there's anybody who is hesitating to speak up, or if you're having challenges technically with speaking up, please use the chat box and I will read out your questions to the speakers. Sir, you have given very nice insights. Thanks a lot. From Dr. Aruna Mule.
Can I just...
Who's this, please? If you could just introduce yourself and please go ahead, ask whatever you want or share whatever you wish. Okay, can you please translate Mr. Sudhir's speech for me in English? Thank you. Yeah, sure, we'll do that.
सॉरी रुको, इंग्लिश में वो पावर नहीं आता है।
We will do that.
Mr. Sudhir, Pratap this.
Yes, Pratap, go ahead.
Can you please elaborate about the 20 things which you mentioned?
Which 20 things?
You have given some homework about writing down 20 things which you enjoy doing.
20 things minimum, but you have to write it yourself. Which thing you enjoy, I don't know. I have given example that walking in the beach, seeing the sunset, playing with a child, playing with your pet, watching the birds, going around in the forest, but all active thing, not passive thing, that watching TV and watching newspaper, seeing a cricket match. No, these are passive things. Active things, like you are doing the painting, or your brother is going for bird watching, or you are observing people on the platform. Enjoy doing things. So that 20 thing means your own thing, but you are stuck in 5 things, then you are not enjoying life. Or you enjoy cooking, that will be an active thing. Or you enjoy cutting vegetables for your wife, that is your thing. Na? I am not enjoying that, but you are enjoying. That means, or you enjoy cooking for your friends, something like that. So you cannot write 20 things, then you are not enjoying. And that are not routine. Or weekend you going for cycling.
So the exercise that we are leaving you behind with is try and write down 20 things that make you really happy, and then see how much of it really requires time, money, and other people to be involved in that activity with you.
Other
And you will be surprised to know that most of your 20 activities, most out of your 20 activities will only need your own time. And that's how you get anand into your life, happiness into your lives. So that was the discussion. So there are a few questions. I think, Sivan sir, some are for you. I'm taking them one by one. Of course, a lot of them are saying very good insights. The koshas were explained very beautifully and very easily. Sir, as in this pandemic, we are doing work from home and going through pressurized situations and stress resulting in anxiety. How can we handle it? Sivan sir, can you take this? This is particularly relating to the pandemic, work from home scenario. I think he's got logged out. Well, let me just look at another question. Sir has explained very well as well. Okay, somebody says, as Lord Krishna says, do your duty, but do not concern yourself with results. This will reduce stress a lot. Do not expect anything in life. Lead a simple and contented life. Very good thought, sir. Thank you, Mr. Arunachalam. Thank you so much.
Lata here. Can I ask Mr. More?
Yeah.
Sir, you said 20 things. Even I
More
feel
than
that
20.
more than 20. But
Yeah.
it can be just 1 or 2 or 5 things which can take up
no.
my whole time, isn't it? And I enjoy it
Yeah.
also.
Yeah. But at least there should be, spectrum should be broad. 5 is not enough. 5 is not enough. You are stuck there.
Yeah. Even now,
Try to write.
really
Yeah. Spectrum is too small, then.
But it is
You should
taking
write.
most of my time, and I'm also enjoying it. So isn't that enough?
Then you are in the routine. You are only doing routine things. 5 things means you are doing routine things. Go beyond that. Go beyond that. 5 things are most of the time you are writing about routine. No.
But I seem to like routine. It is quite predictable and stress-free for me. Routine things.
Like you tell me for three,
Like
4
no
things.
surprises in life. I quite like it.
No. You can separately tell me the list, then I'll add to that list. Yeah. Like dancing you like, but in 1 month you have not danced, only once.
Not publicly, but for
Not
myself.
publicly, but for yourself you must dance almost thrice a week.
Yeah.
Swimming. You enjoy swimming, but in this week you are not gone for swimming. In winter you will not go. Two things. करने का डांस करने का एक रिकॉर्ड लगा के मस्त है. At least you try writing 20 things. Try writing. I insist you try writing 20 things. Then you will know how you are missing things. We'll interact on that separately, but you try to write at least 20 things. Small thing, very small thing, not great things.
Sivan sir, are you there? You're on mute. Sivan sir, can you please unmute?
Sudha, if you're a moderator, maybe you can.
Yeah, we got him. Okay.
Yeah,
Sivan sir,
sorry, I had a huge internet failure. Sorry.
Yeah,
So
no
I'm on my mobile now.
Okay. No problem.
Yeah, I just wanted to add a few words on what we look at empathy as, and I want to give a classic example here. I had this one of these girls, a student of mine, who approached saying that she's teaching in a school, and that some of the students are not able to pay their fees now, and that can we help? Yeah, and the fees. These were, please believe me, these were students in a good school, Xavier's High School. The father was working in a good position in an IT company, and lockdown generated to pay the fee of about 15,000 rupees for the child. And when this came to me, it's nothing to be telling about what I did, but when we did help the child to pay the fees, the father came back and told me one of the most important learnings for me. He said that I never even thought of helping other children when I was doing well, when I was in the position to help some poor students in the same school where I could have paid fees for them. I never did. And here there are now friends of good people who are helping my daughter to continue studies. Yeah, this is what is empathy. If that man at that point of time probably had done some of these givings, as Sudhir sir said, where this would be something which would have definitely come in good stead at some point of time. I strongly believe that our culture in all our ways, our religion talks about giving, but we probably do a lot of discarding than giving. Giving is about something which we would do that, although there could be some difficulty in terms of the amounts, the finance, and still when we do that, that is what is empathizing with others. I think this has to come in a strong way to really look at how we can define empathy as. Yeah, thank you. Now I'm ready to take questions. Yeah.
In this pandemic, we are going through, we're doing work from home and going through pressurized situations and stress resulting in anxiety. How can we handle it, particularly with the times that we are in?
Yeah, I think this is one of the biggest questions which we keep looking at now, as these times when I know people have probably working much more than what they would have done in office. I think people start probably from as early as 6 or 7 from home. The boss easily connects to you and says that these are the steps which needs to be done for the day, and probably you're landing up doing working till even 10 in the night. So the problem here is that we are in a scenario where we have to work from home, and as Sudhir sir said, we can do nothing about it. Yeah, as he said, if this is a stress, yes, we need to handle it. We need to see how can we define and do the best ways to prevent anxiety. Now, what is anxiety? Your anxiety would be whether you would be able to complete the task for the day. If you don't, are you going to be kicked out? Is your salary going to be paid for this month? We have 10 of such questions which keep coming, which are all futuristic. It has got nothing to do with your present. When I talk about stress management or trying to handle stress, as Sudhir sir said, here I would love to say one thing which I keep telling to all my students right through. I remember one girl who came and said to me that I'm deeply stressed and I want to give up life. How do you manage stress? Yeah. I think all of us at some point of time have seen ECG. Yeah. Either of your own heart as to how it functions, or you might have seen of some relative of yours. If you look at ECG, you can clearly see that you have certain peaks. Yeah, your heartbeat will peak, then it will go down, it will go to a nadir, and then a so beat, and then again it will peak. If you look at your ECG, yeah, obviously it is what we call as systolic and diastolic pumping, and then a tenure of the heart where it takes a rest and then again it will pump. These are small fraction of seconds. When you see ECG, it clearly shows sometimes you will be very happy, sometimes you will be very sad, it will be deep in sadness, and most of the time your life is a so-so. It will go on, you take it as it comes, and then again you will be happy again, and then so this cycle of life is being shown by your heart. When will you, if you want peace, what is your understanding of peace? It will be a straight line. When does a straight line come? I think all of you know. When your heart finally stops. That is the only time when you can have straight life. Where will you have, when do we say peace? It is rest in peace. Shanti Om. Yeah. So we need to understand that if you are alive, we will have the stress of life. We need to take each as a challenge. So on that day, if you are working, you have a heavy load of work, focus on that day without looking at what is going to be the consequence. As somebody has put up in the chat as to what is karma and how do you define and work with respect to karma. The fruits might be delayed, it might be slow, but it will come. Now, I don't know how many of you are, since you are in the working frame and you're talking about work anxiety, do you know that 80% of the job change is because of boss? And I find that very, very strange. A person should not be the cause of you leaving the job if you're enjoying your work. As you enjoy your work, you are learning. I think this is what you should look at as you grow in your early ages. Once you have stabilized to that learning or learning edge where you can look at, then you can probably look at your own pace to see if you can have something better where you will enjoy. But it should not be that one person is causing you to leave something which you love to do. And believe me, when I am suggesting you this is out of a learning which I myself have. I quit teaching when I didn't want to. And I quit teaching because of a certain number of people who thought that I am trying to be a populistic teacher. And I quit something which I loved and came into an industry which didn't love me at all initially. They didn't want me to tell that I was a teacher. So what I'm trying to tell here is, can we look at each day, one day at a time, look at how well you can perform and do, and whether we can help you to get over those anxious moments. And as I told you, it should be, can we pause? Because sometimes these moments will go. I hope that is able to answer some of your queries. If you have something more, you can specifically ask. Thank you, Sudha.
Is stress a natural or a self-made? Is it a natural phenomenon or a self-made stress?
I think Sudhir sir had put it very nicely there. I think he said most of it is created by us. It's our mind. It's a lot which is coming in terms of nature will never create stress. It will give you challenges. And nature, when it gives those kind of challenges, we need to see how do we tackle those challenges. As a part of that challenge, you might take certain aspects of that challenge as stress, and that could be a non-functional mode for you. Stress is something which comes from our thought process. And that's why Sir said that, what you do with cleansing of your mind and focusing of your mind, that is one of those important components which can bring you a de-stress scenario. And that's why I say some of you might just, I think, why do mothers handle, I always tell this, why do women probably seem to handle stress so well? It's because they get into some of their thought process so well. They enjoy being with their kids. They enjoy probably playing with their kids, or they enjoy what they do in terms of cooking, or enjoy what they do as their part of work. They are very good multitaskers. Our brain, I don't know how many of us as men would like it. Their brains are much better to handle multitasking than us. Can we think about this and say yes? That's why they are much better when they are able to handle challenges and stress. And these are all components which come from our mind. So things which are stressful for you might not be stressful for me, and things which are stressful for me might not be stressful for you. You might be handling that much better.
So the next one is how to divert myself from one particular thing that keeps lingering on in my mind. Like it could be work pressure or delivering things on time, child education and their future, whatever. I mean, how do I get myself rid of this one thought that's continuously lingering on my mind? The question from Sasi.
Believe me, you will never be able to. Yeah, you'll never be able to. I'll tell you. I'll have a simple example. Yeah, I mean, everybody will probably have a hearty laugh. Whenever I've been caught by the RTO only twice in my life. Yeah. This is basically because I love to follow discipline. I'm I'm afraid of the law. I don't want to get into the wrong side of the law. And whenever it happened these two times, and this was as recent as just about 3 weeks back, I feel as if I'm a criminal. Yeah, if I'm caught. Now, what happened was I came from a long drive. My parents were also there, and we wanted to reach home. And there was a huge traffic jam, so I diverted one of the routes, and I went into another unknown route where I came to a big junction where it was 7 signals, and I was not at all sure whether the signal was working or not. But then I saw that all the cars had stopped, so I also stopped. Now the guy was I had come a little ahead, and I don't know much about this area. He was sure. He was keeping a watch on me. Now, one of the signals started, and an auto and 2 scooters, they left. They went ahead. Seeing that, I also moved. Now, incidentally, that was not my signal. It was an extreme left signal. It was not my signal. The mama welcomed me, took me inside with very due respect. He said, please come to this side. And first of all, gave me one nice, I immediately got out of the car. When he asked for the license, I don't sit in the car and give license. I don't feel that's respect. I got out. I said, Chuki Jada, sorry. Then he gave me a dialogue, Matari Manus, he told the old man, how can you do all this? I said, sorry, sir. Yeah. Now, what do I do? So he said, go to that other policeman who had taken photograph and all the technology now. You are they have the technology. So they had taken photograph, etc. They took me to the side. This guy said that, Kai Kele, I said, signal, I have broken the signal. Sorry. So he said 500 rupees. So I said 500 rupees. I said, is it the recent one? So this is why. So this is for making signal. He said yes. So I gave 500 rupees to him. My thought was that he's going to give me a receipt. Yeah. The maaf kiya. Now, I didn't even think at that time. It was all stress, panic, what did you do? You broke the law. These were the thoughts in me. Yeah. Said, maaf kiya. Go. And he coolly said, he showed me his mobile. He said, I deleted. He deleted my whatever, numbers and all he had photographed. And he said, now you go. And I sat in the car. And I have this lingering thought even now that I was a part of a corrupt act. Although whether I did it without intention or with intention, it is still there. So this lingering, coming to the point is that this is still there in my mind. It can, even if I think about now, it can cause stress to me. I'm upset on myself. So all those points which you have said will always linger. But I am very clear on certain things. Yes, that was a mistake that day. I don't have to think about what I did and not, but can I go over it again and again in a better way so that I don't get back into these systems? So lingering thoughts on anxiety, on coming of these thoughts which keep coming again and again, we need to handle it on that time for that frame. The moment you say, I don't want this thought to come, that thought will come again and again 10 times into your mind. Your mind can play the biggest of games, believe me. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Any other questions? Then a lot of comments only saying that they enjoyed the session. That answers my question. Yes, thanks, sir, for your time and valuable insight.
I think I've seen a lot of elderly people here who have been attending. I think we should thank and seek their blessings, number one. Secondly, I think all of them at that particular age definitely had a very different lifestyle and would have had their own ways of de-stressing themselves. I'm sure if some of them could give their insights to some of our younger generation here, that will be wonderful.
So anybody, whoever wishes to speak, please go ahead, unmute yourselves. Let's keep this as a discussion session if there are no more questions for the speakers.
Can I come in? I listen to a lot of, this is Arunachalam from Chennai. I listen to a lot of music.
Yes.
I listen to a lot of music, and that is my way of de-stressing.
Absolutely. Music. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Music. I listen to all genres of music, from
Yes.
Western classical to Indian classical, Hindustani, Carnatic,
Yes.
jazz, everything.
Yes. Yeah.
I listen to every piece of music in this world, and it gives me a lot of peace.
Brilliant.
And I have a huge collection of music. I have around 3,000 to 4,000 CDs at home, and that is my. I have a passion for music.
Fantastic. That. So these are some of those ways, sir, that it allows you to calm, and it gives you the pause when you are actually angry or you want to react, or you want to be, keep thinking on what has happened. My boss has said this, I need to, get back to him, or these are things which will keep coming. And these are times when you actually give that pause to your mind. Music is something which I love to, and I think that was a fantastic suggestion that people, that's what I kept telling, sir, that whatever you like and you're passionate about, do that. It could be painting. I have such high regards for Pratap. I think he would be there will be a lot of balance when he is creating some of those art which he creates for himself and others. So whatever you're passionate about, if you can do that, these are some of your best calming strategies, and it's your own. Please believe me, it's not come from me, or it's not come from Sudhir sir, or it's not somebody who has told you and you have to kind of force yourself. It is something which you do it, and that's the best way to manage stress.
One more thing.
Yeah.
I view everything from a different perspective. So whatever is happening around me, I view it as an outsider.
Yes.
So nothing comes to me.
Detach,
Even if
detach.
somebody abuses me,
Yeah.
I think, I just leave it there.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
nothing lingers in my
Wonderful.
mind, and I'm cool, comfortable.
Right.
Detach. Wonderful.
A lot of a detachment in life,
Badhiya.
I view my entire life as a spectator.
That's right.
I see everything as a spectator, as if I'm watching a cricket match in a stadium, sitting in a stadium.
Right.
And everything
Badhiya.
passes by. Somebody comes, from the morning, the milkman comes, he drops the milk packets.
Right.
Till I go to sleep. I view everything, as a spectator.
Yeah.
Aloof.
Yeah.
So that gives a lot of, happiness. I enjoy every part of it.
Salute, sir. Salute.
Right. I have to put this, Sudha will also have a hearty laugh. I mean, just before we started this session, there was something which we were, teasing Jai Singh about, and Jai Singh was not reacting at all. And then he comes and tells me, this is the way I manage my stress, that he just doesn't react. So that's how it is. I mean, these are some of the ways which we can find ourselves to tackle, and that will be the best solution. The other ones are add-ons. What Sudhir sir said today about pranayam, you should follow. Please look at it. If you can get to do yoga, do that. And one thing which I would like to have a small opinion, where there's more of a hearty laugh, is that Sudhir sir said that, you should not eat from places where, it's dirty, or, it's unhygienic. And sir, one of those things probably very difficult for this generation is because they love pani puri from those places only. There is a special hand which is put by our dear Bayaji, and that gives the best taste to pani puri. And the other side of the story is, sir, that probably a lot of our COVID effects are not seen as much as it is being seen in Europe and US, is thanks to this kind of immunity which we acquired eating such kind of food and
Community
polluted air.
immunity.
So yes. So, it has both sides of the story. It's very difficult probably for some of our younger generations now not to eat outside.
Yeah.
So I would say that, yes, please do whenever you are very attracted to that kind of food, but eat on time. See to it that you eat early, you eat on time, and don't get into the component where you might be chronically acidic. If you see, please believe me, every incidence of cancer which has increased, I hope you can relate it to the 4 common points which I discussed. And it is very much there. Yeah. Nobody can deny acidity, lack of sleep, chronic constipation, indigestion, and stress. And that's one of the key areas where we are seeing an increase in cancer. Nobody can deny this. And with respect to the carbon dioxide to oxygen ratio, which Sudhir sir said, it is one of those very important components of getting you out of shallow breathing, which we do most of the time, and deep breathing exercises can help you a lot. This also, what it does is, when you're doing deep breathing, you automatically focus on the breathing, and that's a good form of meditation again, because you're not thinking about other components of life, but you're thinking about taking a deep breath, inhaling and exhaling outside to the maximum, which also allows you diaphragm-based breathing, and would also help you in gaining more oxygen. So brilliant. I mean, you will only realize if you practice. I realized it after practice. I have never stopped. Yeah. Please get back to these basic old science, which means a lot in the present conditions to manage stress.
Sir,
So there's another older participant who says, my only stress is to not give any stress to my children.
Brilliant. Yes, I mean, to a lot of us.
on a lighter vein, the Pani Puri fellow, he serves special Pani Puri on every Sunday. What is special about it is only on Sundays he takes bath. Other days,
Well, even I respect the older generation for mentioning that yeah, they would like to keep their children de-stressed. But the other side of the story is that you would also be worrying at some point of time about their well-being. And some of that times you might tell certain things for their well-being, which might be accepted, not accepted. But I think you should leave it to the point that they are responsible enough to understand what you have advised. It is for them to take it or not to take it. And if you leave it at that point, I think it won't be a stress.
Perfect. I think we've overshoot our time.
Oh, yeah.
It was really good, but I'll still give about 5 minutes before we close the session. If there's anybody who wants to say anything before we close for the day.
can I have the contact number of Mrs. Sivan?
Yeah, sure.
Yes, please. Yeah. So post the session, I will separately message it
Yeah,
to you.
thank you.
Yes,
Yeah.
Shivram?
No, I think the important thing is like stress. See, if we take life as it comes, I think it's very easily you can manage stress. So it's not that you should not have too much of expectations, as Arunachal said. Like, don't have too much expectations, don't have too much attachments. Just take life easily. Just take life as it comes. I think it gives me that song from Hum Dono, Devanand's film. I think that is very apt. My zindagi ka saath nibhata chala gaya. हर फिक्र को धुएं में उड़ाता चला गया.
धुआं नहीं लेने का, धुआं नहीं लेने का, धुआं नहीं लेने का.
Just burn all your.
धुआं नहीं लेने का.
Well, the equivalent of that is that let it go as a cloud. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Let's not look
Hey,
at
simple-
figurative.
Yeah,
Shivram,
don't take I think most of us take ourselves too seriously. I think just need to stop that. Try to start enjoying small things in life. I think that is what I think these small pleasures is what actually would de-stress you, and that is what I think would be very like you'll relish it. Like maybe after 30-40 years when you really look back, you will see that these are the small pleasures that you will really feel hope, and these are the pleasures, the time that you spend with your friends, or the time that you spent with your your child when you dropped her to his first day in school. I think these are the small things that really matter. Not
वही
those
20
big pleasures.
list of 20 वही है, list of 20
Yeah,
थी
वो छोटे-छोटे जो है ना, that is what is.
और दूसरा एक और ध्यान में रखना.
Exactly.
शिवराम, तो दो चीजें याद में रखना, फैक्टर्स विद इन कंट्रोल एंड फैक्टर्स बियॉन्ड कंट्रोल.
Exactly.
फैक्टर्स बियॉन्ड कंट्रोल के ऊपर कितना भी मगजमारी करो, कुछ नहीं हाथ में मिलने वाला. You work on only factors within control.
Exactly. Simple. You cannot things which are out of control.
Factors beyond control ने उसके ऊपर इतना लोग मगजमारी करते हैं ना, full energy they spend on factors beyond control.
भगवान पे छोड़ दो.
मिस हो गया, प्लेन मिस हो गया, फैक्टर्स बियॉन्ड कंट्रोल है. बंगलोर में कितनी बार ये प्लेन मिस होता है बिकॉज ऑफ द ट्रैफिक. फैक्टर्स बियॉन्ड कंट्रोल है, फैक्टर विद इन कंट्रोल है, उसके ऊपर काम करो तो कुछ हाथ में मिलने वाला है. तो किटकिट फैक्टर बियॉन्ड कंट्रोल. इसलिए नो धुआं.
Exactly.
Yeah, actually, sir, some of the things which we need to take from the Western world is, has their own positives and negatives, of course. One is, being punctual. I mean, we have to learn from them. Yeah. I really admire that part of Western world. And the second is, sir, I mean, the senior citizens are not accumulating money for their children. Yeah. they find, I mean, they let their children find their way. The child might be doing work in a Pizza Hut, he might be finding it, we might find it very strange, but believe me, that's the kind of independent roads which they build for them as to get their careers done. Yeah. A lot of us here are stressed as to how much of fixed deposits and what kind of wealth we can keep as assets for our children. And then, of course, the children with that kind of silver spoon or golden spoons do not want to find their path. So there is this is what I take as a positive side, that they make their children get their own roads. There is always the other side, that they might not take care of the parents, or parents are left to take care of themselves at certain point of time when they are aged and diseased. That's a sad part. But then the other side of the story is that they are living their independent life till whenever they can, and let their child become what they want to as they grow and build up their career. So some of these things which can definitely de-stress our older generation, as to let their children find their own path.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, that reminds me of one incident which one of my bosses had told me long back. He said that I think he had been on one of these trips outside, like in Europe. So there he found one person, he used to work only 4 days a week. The 5th day he was always absent. So one day he asked him, like, why is it that you are not working? You always take 1 day off. He said that if I work 3 days a week, I will not be able to meet my ends, which is why I'm working for 4 days.
Oh.
So it's basically just the bare minimum, what is really required for today. I just need for sustaining myself. I think that is what is important. I don't really want to look too far ahead into the future and plan. So that's what is, you're right.
Brilliant. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Should we close the session? Yeah, it's been very interesting. I'm tempted to stay, but then I think our speakers are tired. We will close for the day. Thank you so much to everybody. I hope I've not missed anybody's questions, because there are a lot of questions in the chat box. If there's anybody else have I missed anybody, you could let me know. Otherwise, we'll close for the day. Anybody wants to say something more?
1 minute. Shall I take the call?
Yeah, I think we'll close for the day. Thank you so much. Thanks very much to everybody who attended. About the future sessions, we'll get in touch with you on WhatsApp, or on our email. So thank you so much. Thank you very much to the speakers. Thank you, Sivan sir. Thank you, Sudhir sir. It was a wonderful evening. I hope you all enjoyed it as much as we enjoyed putting it together for you. See you all then. Bye-bye.
हो गया time.